Racism ain't personal. Racism is business. Racism ain't personal. Racism is business. Racism ain't personal. Racism is business. And this is exactly why. This is exactly why a white person can be nice to you and mistreat other black people. This is exactly why a white person can care about you and still create AIDS. They can care about you and still take the life of your child. They can care about you and still disadvantage your community. They can care about you and still miseducate our children because you are confusing your individual, personal, emotional relationship with white folk with the relationship between the races. You are confusing your personal, irrelevant, insignificant relationship with Europeans. You're confusing that with the relationship that exists between the white race and the black race. It's time for you to wake up. And I was sent here to wake you up. And I am going to wake you up, even if it kills you. Because as I teach, in order for the African to live, the European inside of you must die. Good white people in your life. They may be good white people in your life, but when they deal with us as a race, this ain't personal. When they deal with us as a race, the code through which they deal with us is systematically implemented, and there are to be no aberrations to that code. There are to be no aberrations to that code. So your personal relationship with Europeans has nothing to do with their commitment. Your personal relationship to Europeans has nothing to do with their obligation. Your personal relationship to Europeans have absolutely nothing to do with the agenda of one race to destroy and oppress another. All white people are racist. Racism has nothing to do with emotion. Racism is all about power, and your personal relationship is irrelevant to the agenda that they have for African people. All policy is set for the group. It is not set for the individual. That's rule number one. Rule number two. White people do not share power with black people. White people do not share power with black people. Historically, we have seen this play out for the past thousands of years. We have seen this play out for the past hundreds of years. Okay? We've seen this play out time and time again. They came into Africa bearing gifts. They came into Africa bearing gifts, offering brotherhood and sisterhood. Look at Africa now. Look at Africa now. 5 centuries of destruction. 5 centuries of slavery. 5 centuries of colonialism. 5 centuries of resource rape. 5 centuries of European financial control. They don't share power with black people. Anytime a white person approaches an African claiming to want to go into a business undertaking together, you can bet your bottom dollar that you will be manipulated, you will be connived, and you will be deceived out of your share of equal ownership. They do not share power. If anyone disagrees with me, I challenge you. If anyone disagrees with me, I challenge you. Show me a country. Show me a corporation. Show me a business. Show me an enterprise. Show me a musical business. Show me land. Show me resources. Show me international trade. Show me government. Show me any undertaking in world history. Show me any undertaking in world history where the European has shared equally with Africans. Never, never, never. So whenever you hear anything about power sharing, let's look at South Africa, the Republic of South Africa. Shout out to my brothers and sisters in the Republic of South Africa, Johannesburg, Pretoria, Durban, Soweto, Alexandria, Cape Town, Eastern Cape, KwaZulu. I will be back in South Africa before the year is over to do my own Dr. Umar Johnson lectures. In South Africa, they say that they have a multiracial government. In South Africa, they say that they have a multiracial government. They claim that they share power. But the African National Congress, the ruling government of South Africa, doesn't own a single bank. The African National Congress, the ruling government of South Africa, doesn't own a single diamond mine. The African National Congress doesn't own a single gold mine. How in the hell can there be power sharing between black and white in South Africa when the whites own all the resources and the blacks have almost none? They don't share power with Africans. And y'all need to wake up and smell the coffee. Y'all need to wake up and smell the coffee. I'll give you another example. Our beautiful black sister, Serena Williams. Our beautiful black sister, Serena Williams, who we love and respect. Okay, greatest tennis player in history. She recently married a European. She's impregnated with this European. Now, marriages are business institutions. Serena Williams has much more wealth than her husband. Serena Williams has much more wealth than her husband. And even if she didn't, and I hate to say this because I don't want to see our sister hurt, but that man didn't marry her because he loves her. That man didn't marry her because she loves her. If she was not Serena Williams, the great tennis champion, they would not even be together. They would not even be together. So he's entering into this relationship as a military strategy to rob her of some of her wealth. You don't have to believe. You don't have to believe. Come back to me 10 years from now. Come back to me 20 years from now. Of course you don't think it's accurate because you don't understand white supremacy. Come back to me 10 years from now. They will no longer be married. They will no longer be married. And I don't wish that upon my sister, but I understand white supremacy, and she does not. He did not marry her because he loves her. That man is not intending to spend the rest of his life with Serena Williams. I promise you that. I promise you that. First of all, he don't even know what to do with all that. She need an unapologetically African alpha male to handle that. He can't handle that. He don't even know what to do with that. Okay? But I promise you, he will not be married to her for the rest of her life because he did not marry her for that. She is nothing more than a financial investment. She is nothing more than a financial investment. White supremacy is non-emotional. White supremacy is non-emotional. White supremacy is non-emotional. Number 3, white supremacy is ruthless. White supremacy is ruthless. Do you know what ruthless means? Do you know what ruthless means? To be totally ruthless? That means you are devoid of any moral code. And if you have a moral code, it does not in any way, shape, or form impede your ability to carry out your agenda, no matter how horrific it is. White supremacy is ruthless. It is ruthless, brothers and sisters. It is ruthless. White supremacy is ruthless. It is ruthless. If they have to create AIDS, they will do it. If they have to create Ebola, they will do it. If they have to poison your children, they will do it. If they have to mass incarcerate your men, they will do it. If they have to homosexualize the babies, they will do it. If they have to blow the levees in New Orleans during Hurricane Katrina, they will do it. If they have to tear down the Twin Towers in New York, they will do it. Whatever they have to do, they will do it. It is ruthless. White supremacy is ruthless. It has no moral code. And this is what's wrong with black folks, because you don't understand the ruthlessness of white supremacy. So when I tell you they invented AIDS, you say impossible. When I say they invented Ebola, you say impossible. When I say they put Obama in office to homosexualize black America, you say impossible, because you don't understand ruthlessness. You don't understand ruthlessness. You've been politically miseducated by the church. You've been politically miseducated by the masjid. You've been politically miseducated by public school. You've been politically miseducated by your community. And Dr. Umar Johnson was sent by the ancestors to wake you up, because time is running out. It's 11:59 on the clock. It's 11:59 on the clock of African survival. It is 11:59 p.m. on the clock of African survival. Time is running out. We got to get it together. It is ruthless. African people have a hard time understanding and embracing the ruthlessness of white supremacy, because we are not that way. It is hard for, this is one of our immaturities as a people. This is one of our immaturities as a people. We have a very difficult time stepping outside of our African worldview. We have a very difficult time stepping outside of our African worldview. We have a very difficult time stepping outside of our African worldview and evaluating other people from their worldview. You will never understand the European and his consciousness until you evaluate him from his worldview, not your own. African people don't create bombs. Europeans do. African people don't create diseases. Europeans do. African people do not disrupt nature. Europeans do. African people do not inflict genocide on each other. That is not historically African behavior. It is European, and you don't understand it because you're not looking at this from his worldview.